Predict failure is asset software for a specific operational decision, forecasts potential failure modes and remaining useful life of assets based on physics-based simulation results. This video explains what the tool does, why the workflow matters, and how the output becomes useful decision evidence. The problem is that assets teams often manage this workflow with scattered inputs, inconsistent review rules, and manual interpretation. At quarantadue.ai, every MCP workflow starts from the real tool interface, not from a generic prompt. The goal is simple. Keep the expert in control while the system structures the evidence. Inputs, reasoning, and outputs stay connected in one reviewable flow. Now the results become easier to compare, easier to review, and easier to explain. Predict failure narrows that process into a repeatable model so teams can compare cases without rebuilding the logic each time. Predict failure starts with a defined input contract. Typical inputs include maximum von Mises stress, stress concentration factor KT, material yield strength SY, material ultimate strength SU, and loading type. Keeping these fields explicit reduces ambiguity and makes every run easier to audit. The workflow then applies calculate the factor of safety against yielding by comparing the material yield strength to the maximum effective stress considering stress concentration, estimate the fatigue endurance limit based on material ultimate strength, loading type, and statistical reliability factor. Apply standard loading factors for reversed, repeated, or fluctuating loading. Predict the number of cycles to fatigue failure using the Basquin equation, incorporating the maximum stress, stress concentration, endurance limit, and material fatigue properties. Calculate the remaining useful life in years by subtracting the current cycles from the predicted cycles to failure and dividing by the annual operational cycles, and classify the most likely failure mechanism based on the static safety factor and the relationship between maximum stress and yield strength. Categories include yielding, fatigue, or excessive deformation. This keeps the process deterministic, reviewable, and aligned with how assets teams actually make decisions. Predict failure returns structured outputs such as static safety factor, remaining useful life, cycles to failure, failure risk indicator, and stress versus life correlation. These outputs are designed to support review, reporting, comparison, and follow-up actions. The value of predict failure is not just automation, it is a controlled way to turn repeated assets work into a documented business process with clear inputs, transparent logic, and reusable outputs.